Hello guys and girls, welcome back. This is your coach Adam Farr. Just going to make a little quick video about the perfect progress report. One of the members of the team uh, sent me a report recently and it was done absolutely perfectly, and I just kind of want to use that as an example to show you guys what I expect every week. When you go on the main website and you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that I've made a whole bunch of videos talking about these things. Weekly progress report part 1 and 2, the 4 pillars of body transformation, kind of briefly go over what I'm going to talk about here right now. So if I go into my email address, I got this lovely email from one of our members here, and here is an example of a perfect progress report. So a progress report contains all 4 pillars of the 4 pillars of body transformation, and I wrote about this over here. I spoke about this in this video over here called the 4 pillars of body transformation. And then also a little bit more here in the weekly progress report. So what it contains, a perfect report contains photos of every single meal. Now this is not something you have to do permanently, but for the first month of your, I guess you could say, internship or mentorship with MorphFit, I do want to see these photos simply because very often I'll send out some instructions and people will think they're adhering to what I'm trying to tell them to do, but they're not. So this is a way for me to catch you and make it very clear to you what it is exactly I want you to do. So in the case of this person in particular here, I was telling her to eat 1 palm of protein per meal, and as you could see over here, in this meal in particular, there is a palm of protein. I would say slightly under, but it would be a passing grade of a palm of protein. But if I go into the next photo, even though this has the same amount of surface area as her palm, it would not count as a palm of protein because of the overall volume or mass of that protein source is just not sufficient enough to equate to the size of her hand. So I caught her basically. And she's learned from that, and she'll be able to improve this week since I've given her that information. And what I do basically is when somebody sends me a progress report, I open it up just like this and I do a screen recording just like I'm doing right now, and I send it back to you and I comment on every single photo very quickly, and you get a very quick idea of what you need to change. I don't write big long emails describing what needs to be done. I'll just kind of voice over the email you send me, send it back to you. That's it, that's all. It's very efficient. So she sent me every single meal for every day of the week, one after another, and I was able to comment over each and every single one, so it becomes very clear to her what is expected of her for the next week. So that's the first thing that she did for me. She sent me her photos. She also sent me pictures of her body, which I'm not going to show you in this email. If I scroll down a little lower, they will be there, but I won't show you that for the purpose of client confidentiality, but they're at the bottom. So she sent me photos of her food and photos of her body, and she also at the bottom sent me videos of her lifts in the gym. When it comes to sending me videos of your lifts in the gym, you could send those to me every single day. You don't have to wait a whole week to send them to me. It's probably better to send them every single day, or you could just send them in your progress report. Either way, have them send my way, and that's good. The next thing she did is she took photos of her log sheets in her book. Now, this is a much simpler solution to than writing it down in your online account. Now you still have to write it down in your online account because they still have to be able to keep track of you through there as well. But if you can include photos of your log sheets in your book, that's amazing. And what I'm looking for is simple. I'm looking that she's applying the Southeast rule, and right away you could tell that over here she's making mistakes. She's not applying the Southeast rule, right? It should be a gradual increase of 10 to 20 pounds per set. So it should be something like 135, 45, 55, 65, 75, so on and so forth. So I was able to catch her in terms of her her progression and intensity in the gym to make sure that she's loading properly. Also, I was looking at the numbers, and I noticed over here I told her to do 16 reps of shoulder press, but in fact she was doing 14 over here and 12 over there. So she was not applying the elephant rule, which is another video that I've created. So just check out the YouTube channels if you don't know what I'm talking about. I've explained all these little rules to you. Southeast rule and elephant rule are the key rules in terms of progressing in your program at the gym. And then finally it keeps on going, and then she sent me pictures of her cards. There's more pictures down here, but it'll leak into her body photos. I don't want to do that. But basically, she sent me a photo of her compliance card, right? And what I could do is, I could zoom in on that. Make sure that if you're sending it to me with Google Drive, make sure that it's a nice clear photo. If you're not sending it to me with Google Drive, make sure you're really zoomed in, because I won't be able to zoom in on it myself. And then she also sent me photos of her meal cards, which I adjusted again verbally and via email. I told her to just keep everything the same on this one because she wasn't actually hitting her protein goal of 1 palm of protein per meal. So I couldn't make a full adjustment until that was rectified. But there's a great example of what I would describe as a perfect progress report. I expect one of these from each and every one of you every week. After a month, you could totally eliminate the photos of your food, because if you get a passing grade after a month, I don't need to see this anymore. I trust you at that point. But until then, it's guilty until proven innocent, and I want to see all the proof and evidence that you're following it perfectly, because that's the only way I'm going to make sure that your results are guaranteed. So that's pretty much it. That's the perfect progress report. Try to send me that every single week, and everything will be fine and dandy. This is your coach, Adam Farr. Take care.